Yo, 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 welcome to Crate 808. And our 808...
It's the yo-yo.
Oh, he hasn't got his yo-yo with him. Ray Ridge. Oh, he has. Ray Ridge over there. For the people who's on the YouTube, which really doesn't post. We don't post many YouTubes anymore, so that prop is kind of lost. Apart from us and the people in the live stream. The 808th live, the 808th chamber, our live stream for our patrons. Ray Ridge is here, our boom bap crusader. In the chat at the moment, we've got Ninjas Rose, we've got Jack P. I'm sure, hopefully, more people will be jumping in. And we are talking today about two GOAT contenders, monumental artists, legends, whatever you want to call them. We're doing some reviews today. And we've had a bit of a blessed summer because on one hand, Nas has dropped his last two collaborative projects with Hit Boy, Magic 2 and Magic 3, within weeks of each other. So obviously he just wants to get this done now. He's fed up with it. He's like, he's just, come on, let's hurry this up. And DJ Muggs dropped his next Soul Assassins project, Soul Assassins 3 Death Valley. Very pertinent title as we will go into. But we are going to talk about those two today. Ray is over there. Ray, I may as well start where we always start, my man. Least hip-hop thing in the last 24 hours? What are you bringing to the table?
Least hip-hop thing in the last 24 hours is actually enjoying my job. It's enjoying my job now. Yeah.
Hold on. That's not real, is it? That's not allowed on this. So you're enjoying your job. Nice.
Yeah. Like last time I was on, I was like, fucking having a job, wear these clothes, turn up to this workplace at this time and do this shit, and then fuck off and then come and do it again tomorrow. Today, do this job, turn up to this place. It's amazing. Like actually enjoying it. It just fucking changes everything, doesn't it?
Good stuff. Live it long enough, maybe you start enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? Bit like Nas.
Well, I'm probably going to quit eventually anyway, but
yeah, it's still going to quit. But yeah, fair enough.
Got my coffee lined up as well.
On the go. Good lad. My least hip hop thing then. My least hip hop thing in the last 24 hours is I made I suppose people call them different things. We call them ruddy or rotleys. I think people out there may call them chapatis and other
things. Because they are chapatis.
Because there are chapatis apparently. So there you go.
Chapatis is the correct.
Well, I made a few of those.
Name.
Made a few of those. They did not go to plan. They were not round as such. They were more the shape of Canada, I would say. But yeah, so I did those, and I can't imagine any rapper, especially Nas. Nas is flexing on these few albums here. He's not there over a stove cooking, is he, anymore? He likes eating. He definitely has some, what does it say? Something on the oyster sauce on the chef's apron on one of these tracks. It's like, yeah. So I know he likes eating. Don't think he's going to be making it, does he? So that's my least hip hop thing. That's my least hip hop thing as well. What a way to start. Let's do this then. I think we've got to do Nas 2, Magic 2 from Nas, because that literally came out this summer and I was ready to do that. And then just obviously it was his 50th last week as time of recording. And he dropped Magic 3. So we're going to try to give, I've already had it for about 4 or 5 days. So I've not been like properly ingrained, but we should talk about both if you want to now, Ray. Magic 2, let's go there then to begin with. And Nas generally, I suppose. Ray, how are you feeling? I think last time we talked on Nas was KD 3. You weren't feeling that as much, but you liked Magic, if I recall. So how are you feeling now that 2 and 3 are out and his Hit Boy things come to an end?
Yeah. What? Wait, you just dropping a massive... His Hit Boy things come to an end?
Yeah, this is their last collaborative. That's it, done. As I have been, as he has said that, yeah. So like,
what? And they're just never going to collaborate ever again. That's it. We're done now.
I think he said he's done 6 projects with him. That was always the plan. Now he's going to move.
And now
on.
they're just not. Now they're just not friends anymore. That's it.
They are
done.
friends. I just don't think they're going to do any. Well, think about it. There's not many producer.
Cheers for the beats. Nice one. Bye.
How many producer rhymers do 6 albums? Maybe you could argue Run the Jewels, but other than really Run the Jewels, I don't know many who are like separate artists and they come together and do this much work. So I think and also, if I'm being completely honest, after number 3's come out, I'm here for it. I'm actually here for take a break, come back somewhere down the line, do a new concept, but I reckon I've got a real good amount of what Hit Boy and Nas have been bringing since. God, it's been 5 years they've been working together. Yeah, that's a long time in today's world. Anyway, 5 years feels like a lifetime away. But so now I've told you that news. How do you feel about that? And two, how do you feel generally after hearing these last two albums?
So I'm not accepting that. I'm going to treat it like the Rocky, Rambo, and Die Hard trilogies that turned into just never-ending.
Could well be.
Then never. Who knows how many more? I hope there's going to be. Imagine a Rambo Die Hard crossover.
Oh, I mean, it can't ever be that. Why are you doing that? What, like in what universe? Which universe?
But it could be done with AI now, isn't it? It's just, people have to sign over likenesses and whatnot.
Don't tell Nas that, mate. He has a go at AI on this album. On number 3, he really doesn't like AI. So we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, don't mention AI in front of Nas. That's
but the thing is, I think why it won't work musically is because what is valuable about music is the authenticity. And without no disrespect to acting as a career, but the whole thing is you're not being yourself, you're acting, right? So it is just, I don't know, a version of Robert De Niro playing a character. Is there a new Scorsese movie coming out?
Yeah,
life's good at the moment, isn't it?
This year's ridiculous. This year you got Fincher, Scorsese, Michael Mann. It's like living back in the 90s again. I think I live in the 90s anyway, because I have a podcast pretty much emanating that. But genuinely, I was like, holy shit, like how many amazing directors are dropping something this year? So yeah, that's fair enough. So 2 things. But yeah, one, the Die Hard and Rambo thing you were saying.
Right. Yeah, I'm glad we're focusing on that. Yeah, I mean...
No, I want to know what universe we're in.
John McClane and John Rambo. So... I'm not sure how their agencies would cross over. They don't work together, do they? Because John McClane is like a state police, and
man's been in Russia blowing shit up. Man was in Russia.
Rambo was used by the used by the CIA? Was it the CIA? Or was it just the US? Was it just the army? I can't.
Generally US.
He would have leveled up to CIA, stuff now. But he'd have to be doing something in the country.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe John Rambo's gone rogue.
Well, I think he's
gone rogue in New York, and
this is scuppered. This is already scuppered, Ray. Already scuppered because Bruce Willis can never be in Die Hard again. So unless you've got AI Bruce Willis. No,
that's why it'd have to be AI Bruce Willis.
AI. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Okay then. Going back to Nas and Hit Boy. You were saying, Listen, wait. You were saying, it's only a matter of time and it's going to come back. I'm treating it like Rambo in these legacy franchises. How many L's do each of them have to take before they return to this? Like, if Nas now drops 2 more albums with a different producer and they're not great, how many is he having of them till he then gets Hit Boy on the phone, or vice versa?
I think Nas could do the Primo album.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Early one.
Which is, look, anyone on Primo is kind of what I want. But I think even if he takes a couple of dubs, what are we calling them?
Call them dubs, mate.
Dubs. Call them dubs. Dubs. Dubs is like, so I'm teaching at the academy now. I'm surrounded by like 20-year-olds.
Right.
And it's just, it's difficult. It's difficult because like you're speaking a different language. Anyway, so, look, I'll take more of it. Going on what Magic 2 and Magic 3 is, Magic 3 particularly is quite a climax in that it Hit Boy's beats are an adventure. They're not just a fucking 4-bar loop. They're they develop, they build up, they cut out. There's elements where is it going to be a beat with no drums? And I've got moments of like, oh God, this is what the world is now. And then he fucking drops the beat exactly where it should be. And your 90s hip hop heads are rewarded as they should be. So yeah, Magic 3 has a lot of that. I've been really feeling this album. And also it's just both of these albums are just Nas being Nas. It's just him being him, telling stories about the streets, stories about but it's authentic as well. It's not just look, I made it now, but he's reflecting on those times and telling stories from those times and telling stories about his experiences in the music industry and his experiences on the street. It's strange to think about Nas being 50. He's 50 now, but then you listen to the album. It's not, you're not hearing a guy with a fucking Zimmer phrase. 50, it's not 80, but you're not hearing his age. You're hearing his experience. But I don't think of 50 as a old man now. And maybe that's somewhat because, I'm 42 and I'm like, I want it to be.
I want it to be that, maybe.
Considered younger for longer.
I want it to be that. Is that okay? Well, Ray, that ties in really nicely to my little intro to this as well, right? Because I was just looking, just kind of spanning it backwards as well, like just kind of stepping back at the whole big picture before I dip into the albums themselves. So first of all, I was like, this has been written about quite a lot. So people who are into hip hop will probably know this kind of is a thing now after all these KD, Kings of Z series and the Magic series. But let's just drink in that Nas is now in his 5th consecutive summer of bringing us proper hip hop moments, not an EP. Like 2019 was Lost Tapes 2. That was the last kind of like, oh, okay, it's an offcuts thing maybe. Before that was Nazir, which we don't want to talk about. But from 2020 onwards, he has definitely dropped us moments. And I just think these moments, drink that shit in, because I don't think it's going to happen again. I genuinely don't think it's going to, not for Nas anyway. I think I'd be surprised if he keeps this run going, because it's just a bit pretty mental to see how good these projects are. I think people know who listens to this. I'm not a massive fan of Kings of These 1. But from 2 onwards, I've been in. So I was looking at Nas and the GOAT debate, Ray. And he's kind of, since we've been in hip hop, he's kind of always been perennially in the conversation. He's always been in, even with his like dalliances outside of hip hop, and even on Magic 3, he says, I left a few times. I just didn't bother telling you. Just didn't tell you. I just didn't tell you. And I was like, that's interesting, because he seems like an ever present in people's minds, especially around the turn of the century, and including obviously Illmatic before that. So I was looking at Nas and the narratives around Nas. He's been around for so long, there's stories, right? And that's how we tell these stories about Nas. And I kind of love the 2 narratives he's completely broken in the last few years, which are Nas can't pick beats. That is now, there'll be a time in 10 years when people are like, hold on, people you say Nas couldn't pick beats. And we're like, yeah, for 20 years, for like 10, 15 years, we were going around saying Nas can't pick beats. So he's broken that. This is a big thing, man. That's a hard thing to do. And he's rewrote.
Well, if you buy into the narrative, but yeah,
obviously, yeah. But I'm talking about overreaching. There's always arguments. That's what I love about it. Is even though there's been people saying he can't pick beats, there have been people in the same pub saying he can pick beats. And I've been on either side of those conversations. But the other narrative, the other overarching theme, and it's not just Nas, but mate, me and you grew up with this. When you were an old hip hop star, so when we were getting older, Rakim was, probably still mid-20s, early 30s. He was older, but we adored Rakim, right? But they were old rappers who were coming around in the noughties and the 90s, and it was never seen as an old man. It was always seen as a young person's game. And I think he has just, that age-old narrative is now, in rap circles, have something to argue that old rappers can bring it. And I hate saying the word old, but it feels like hip-hop's always had this fascination with being young. So I love where we are now, that it's evolved. Like, you can talk about your drumless rap, you can talk about your underground, your art rap, your Laura Bibbs rap, all that stuff. But now in rap, you can talk about, so what if he's fucking 50? He's fucking bringing it. He's, if anything, it's amazing and fun and beautiful to hear someone who's still trying, right? Like, he's trying new flows. He's trying new things. And I love that. I love that about Nas.
Yeah. There is some fucking incredible rhymes on Magic 3.
Yeah, I think Magic 2's got better rhyming personally, but yeah.
There's some bits on Magic 3 where he's peak Nas. There's no one else that does that's his style, because it's not like
when you mean peak, do you mean apex? I don't think it's near apex. Like, if I had it was written Nas, I am Nas compared to this Nas, if they were in a heavyweight title of some AI formed like MC battle and DJ Premier's in the middle.
No,
like,
look.
There's only one winner.
Illmatic is undisputed greatest hip hop album of all time.
But when you said peak, I wondered if you meant apex. That's why.
I just, see now you're just nitpicking over the different definitions of words. I'm just saying it's a good version. It's a great version of Nas. I'm happy.
No, I'm
happy. I'm satisfied.
I agree.
He's rewarded our loyalty.
Yes, I agree. So hold on then, right? So I had
this is Apex Cam. That's what
this
is
Apex Cam. It is. But just before we dip it, because I know you want to dip into the album and stuff. But this is so weird because obviously it's only been out 5 days, hasn't it? This last album. But I had a brilliant way of putting what I thought was what he's done in Magic 2 and Magic 3. And I just had here, Nas does nostalgia excellently. Like, he does nostalgia brilliantly. The skill, right, to articulate your memories from such a long time ago as well, like when he's been smoking shitloads of weed throughout his whole life, in rhyme. So to articulate them anyway is hard. You may misremember things. You may not be able to find the right language to really hit home. But then to rhyme it, he is a master at that. And I've now realised, like, these are very retrospective pieces of work. Although Magic 2 is on more contemporary beats, definitely. It's a very trappy album, I would say. Number 3 definitely is taking you back. It's not like, no, we ain't doing. There's maybe one moment where there's a bit of trap, but other than that, it's boom bap all day. And the one thing I was going to ask you, kid, is especially when Nas's next step comes into place. With these albums, he seems to have found a balance of nostalgia and retrospectiveness, right? Entertaining us vets out there over contemporary sounds. So maybe the youngsters are getting into it. I don't know what the sales are, whatever. But then young people might be nostalgic for a time they've not been in before. So Nas is also bringing them that. I hear about a lot of the young people I know in my life work, and it's a very limited sample size. They are nostalgic for a time they've not been in. Maybe Nas is bringing that to them as well. I don't know how much more retrospective can he really go? Like, are you good with this, Ray? Are you good to hear him talk about every single aspect of his life in the past? Or I don't know, where are you with the retrospectiveness, or are you okay with that? Is that what you want from Nas?
That's exactly it. That's what Nas is to me. I mean, I think every album that he does, he's got to bring some kind of concept track, which he does on this, which is, it's not so much, they're based on true events, stories, isn't it? So there's, I mean, maybe not really concept as such. You know, we're not talking about, it's like a McGurn, it's like a motherfucker gun.
Yeah.
There's no more. I think part of what would be a good, you know how he talks about how he regrets saying, "Oh, I wish I didn't say it's like I'm a gun." I wish he'd just like ironically explain his next concept tune at the start. Guys, it's like I'm a coffee cup. It's like I'm a coffee cup. The flow's just spilling out. Okay, right, got it.
Concept.
Yeah, I'm here for it as well.
But this is what I mean about him. That is Nas, isn't it? Nas has always had that introspect. When he fucking dropped, it was about what had come before him. That's why they loved him so much. From what I remember is, this gangster rap from the West Coast is newer, and the Southern rap that's kind of bubbling is newer. But Nas was always about what New York was in the 80s. That's why he was compared to Rakim. So I suppose he's always had that in his kind of makeup. But I suppose at this point now, though, when he's 50, even though he sounds lively and vibrant, and there are a few where he's not sounding as lively or vibrant, like I think Magic 2 is more honed and focused on as an overall project, whereas on 3, it's a bit more looser Nas. Like, I don't feel like he's really gone in on the writing, and it's almost at points where I'm like, is this just an offcut from Magic 2? Or is it genuinely something they thought about Magic 3? Because I loved Magic 2, but I loved KD3 as well. But I was thinking, is this hip hop, like, it doesn't need to be high stakes. It's quite low stakes, like, for him, but that's fine, right? Like, I don't really need Nas going into Nasir territory anymore. Like, I don't need him experimenting anymore. And aside from Primo, which we always talk about, what more do you really want from Nas? Like, do we not just want to hear this again and again?
where he's positioning himself now. I mean, in Magic 3, he talks about being 50, half century, etc., etc. A lot of references to it, and I think he's comfortable. He's comfortable being the wise man in hip hop. I mean, I think even from Illmatic, he was, wise beyond his days.
Absolutely.
Just talking about the way he was talking about the streets, and that's the juxtaposition of knowing how young he was at the time, and like conveying all that knowledge so eloquently over those beats is part of the fascination from day one. But now he is 50 and he is white. I mean, he's just he drops like wisdom all over this. I was this one bit. I don't know how wise it is now, but one of the lines in Jodeci, remember, keep 20s on you, not hundreds. You'll spend less. It's like, well, fuck.
Oh yeah,
that is really clever, isn't it? That is like
life advice. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, and very pertinent.
Keep 20 years old, you're at hundreds.
Yeah, but what about in a cashless society, Nas? What about cashless society? But then we're not going to strip clubs where they take 20s. So yeah, fair play. Although is Nas doing that? I don't know, because if you actually look at I don't know what life Nas is living in a weird way, because if I'd take you back to Magic 2, I had a few points there. I want to talk about a few tracks here. But there's one bar on Magic 2 that is just like, what? My scrotum is golden. When he said, I just can't see. There's going to be 2 scrotum bars in these reviews of Muggs and Nas, and the one scrotum bar is my scrotum is golden. I was like, that. Do you know what? That it could sound corny, but I'll tell you one thing. And if Rock Marciano said them lines, people were, oh my God, what a bar, what a bar. So I know people say, oh, it's corny, but I was like, no, it's fine. Because Rock Marciano has a habit of being able to drop a corny bar and making it fine. And my scrotum is golden. It's definitely a Rock Marciano bar, but Nas brings it as well. So no, I had to bring that one up. Before we go into 3 then, Kid, I don't know if you had any selection of 2, because I just want to run through 2.
Yeah. I reckon should we just hit the chat, because there's been
absolutely. Let's see. Then you can recollect your thoughts on 2 before we go in. Oh, sorry guys, I have absolutely ignored you. Ninja's Rose, I'm pretty sure Nas said he's working with someone else. I think it's the right time to call it. I agree. I liked it more than not, but I'm sure they'll come back in a couple of years with a 3rd trilogy. Yeah,
yes,
I can see it.
In.
This is the hip hop videos of the 90s where it's to be continued, and half of them weren't. This is one of them. Jack P, whilst none of the Hit Boy records are top 5 Nas records, yeah, fair enough. Although Magic, I don't know, I loved Magic. For me, I would think 5 years' time there will be a serious discussion about this run and where Nas was before then. Yeah, absolutely. If Ninja's Rose, if he hadn't already, then I think his 3rd decade run has solidified him as the best to ever do it. Big. What other rapper from the 90s has been remotely close to doing something like this? What a G. I love the energy. And he says also, I'm not on for long. This is 4:20 a.m. for him. Bless you, mate. Bless you. So I have questions for everyone involved. How many of the last 6 Nas Hit Boy albums are in the top 10 of Nas's discography? I can think 2 off the bat. KD 3 and Magic, I would say, are top 10. Easy for me, actually. Quite easy. Magic might be my 6th favourite record, says Jack P. Free Music Empire. As an MC, Nas' master power is transportation. Detailing a story. Yeah, it is transportation, is master power. Detailing a story enough to put you in the scene so it makes sense that nostalgia is his chamber. And perfect. Dude has been nostalgic since his first album. This is why we love you, Dan. That's exactly it. That's it. Yeah. Jack P, the only problem I found with these Hit Boy records, and Ray has pointed out, is that in the past, if I want to listen to some Nas, I won't reach for any of these first. All very good points. All really, really good points. And do you know what? Yeah, I'm kind of with you at the moment, but time is a funny thing, isn't it? Time is a funny thing. Let's see where we go. So Magic 2 then, Ray, any pointers you had in Magic 2 that you want to jump into before 3?
Yeah, there's some, there's some just peak Nas here. So Bakeem Woodbine telling stories about old times, like I'm feeling that track.
Mate, let's just take a second. It's named Bakeem Woodbine, who is a 90s legend. Please go watch Dead Presidents. If you don't watch anything else of Bakeem Woodbine, go watch Dead Presidents and watch him in that. Just fucking fly. He's a peacock. Let's go. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, man. And it's just one. It's just he says it's not like it's the hook in the track. He just says the name once in there.
Yeah,
and carries
I know.
on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know. I'm trying to think what a way of saying it is. So obviously 21 Savage, the track on Magic 2 that has the most listens on Spotify, 31 million, is the One Mic, One Gun, which is a cool track with 21 Savage, but 21 Savage, I'm not his audience, right?
But that's why it's 31 million views, mate. It streams because it's 21 Savage.
Yeah. And that's what I mean about it's what's interesting about, the rest of the album has the average of a million listens. And so is that us heads? Are we that million?
Yeah.
That's what we're that million. And so the other 20 million, they're just listening to 21 Savage.
How much is the difference? 1 million to 21 million?
No, 31 million.
So, right.
Yeah. So there's another 31.
This is the younger audience, I'm guessing. But if they filtered and say there's only 800,000 of his heads on them other tracks, that's still a lot of young people listening to Nas, I suppose, right? Like they must have filtered through. Not every single one of them is not going to, a large majority aren't, but 1% or whatever.
Well, I mean, the thing is, this represents people, the compiled playlist majority, isn't it? It's just people like, 21 Savage is on what? It's Nas, some old guy. Yeah, we'll put him on this playlist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's this whole, and that's the other thing. So I'm on the training course this week, and there's with a lot of part of it was talking about how are we going to involve Gen Z because they only have 8-second attention spans, blah blah blah. So that's something that's going to be more of a problem as we carry on through life. But one also interesting fact of that is that they are the most populous generation. There's more Gen Z than there are in the world than there are of anyone. And I know it's different in different countries because, some countries have just vanishingly small populations as a result of one child policy, et cetera, et cetera. Let's not talk about that. Let's get back to the music. But
I was going to say, where are we going? Where are we going?
Yeah. But it's just weird to think that we're not the majority.
No, there's more of them. We're going to die.
We're some
soon,
fucking
mate.
niche.
We're going to all die. We're going to all die. And they're going to be left here. And they're all going to talk about 21 Savage in this track. But this is what I mean. But look, the 21 Savage thing, I like the idea of the concept. One mic, obviously, and then one gun because he's, fair. You harken him back, try and look forward, fair. And I know there was a supposed beef between the two, and this was them bringing it to the forefront and saying there is no beef. You were all talking shit, and I can't remember how that started, but it feels like there was some strays being caught kind of thing. But I just don't know if the concept, it's not the track I'm going back to. 31 million other people might do, but of all of Magic 2, that's probably near the bottom of my list. I'll be honest, it's not a track I'm going to go back to that much. A track I do go back to, there are a few on here, man. Motion, I love the rhyming couplets on that.
Yeah.
And I just wish,
Motion, yeah.
The
way it's a fucking head nod.
Yeah. Both these albums are. Both these albums, if you haven't guessed 40 minutes into this, that we're the demo. We're the demo for this. We are the boom bap, but not meat and potatoes purely because, like you said at the top, his stuff is a journey. He mixes it up. He beat switches. He does take you on more of a sonic journey. So Motion is right up there for me. And I just kept thinking, I wish we had Pac, Pun, Big L, like Biggie, still with us rhyming like this, with a nod to the past, but also an acceptance where you are in life now. Like when he says on Motion, the flesh a vessel, I'm not obsessed with death, I manifest what's best, I'm ghetto tested, bless. I couldn't help but think, Pac never got to the age where he could say those words on Wax to Us. And it filled my heart to think that Nas has. Nas could have been caught, like it's not a miracle he's here. I'm not putting it out for strange, but like he's been through a lot of shit, including a lot of beefs, and he's here and he's saying, I'm not obsessed with death anymore. There was a moment when Nas was taking from Pac's book and was talking about death a lot. And then he says, I manifest what's best. I'm ghetto tested, bless. I love that line. It's really stuck out to me. One other one, and it's a fucking great Office Hours. Office Hours, bro, right? Fredo. This is a great track, but Fredo, right?
With 50 Cent, yeah. Yeah,
and 50's awful. I'm sorry. But if you want a comparison to how good Nas is at his age, listen to 50 on that track. Listen to 50. I love you, mate, and I love the joy that you can bring to like your art, but it just kind of meanders by the end of it. It's really weird.
I think of 50 as a shit actor, but still an actor now. And because have you been watching Power?
I haven't,
and the whole
but I've
Power
heard a lot
series?
of things. I've heard a lot of things about it. I've not watched it though.
Do you know, like, I'm imagining the tangent. Let's not go down that 50 Cent acting tangent because
Nas' acting tangent is probably going to be worse. So let's not.
Yeah, but I mean, they're both pretty fucking awful.
Yeah, imagine them in a film together. But on that song, Office Hours, Fredo from Godfather caught a nasty spray, a naughty stray from nowhere. I was like, what's he doing? Like, bless him. The man was weak, but he had a bit of heart. Like, come on. And I just kept, when I was listening to it, I was thinking of John Cazale, who plays Fredo. And I love John Cazale. And I was like, you know what would have been perfect here is that, I don't know if you've ever seen the Deer Hunter scene. I don't know if you've ever watched Deer Hunter, but John Cazale, there's just a moment in it. And he's just there, Fredo. Well, obviously in that he's not called Fredo. And he's just looking at himself in the reflection of this car and like preening himself. And he's not said it. I don't know why the directors put this in. And it's like about 10 seconds, 20 seconds. He just looks at himself and goes, beautiful. And that's it. That's all it is. And he walks away. And it's got nothing to do with the film. And I just thought, every time I think of John Cazale, I think of him, one, in that little bouncy chair when he's talking to Michael. I'm the eldest son. And then I have that as well. And he's like, I'm the eldest son. But yeah, and then another one, Abracadabra. Like, Nas doing different flows on to this day on his, like, what, 17th album. Which other artist has got 17 albums and they're still good? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, no, yeah. I'm right there with you. So let's have a look what we got here. Oh, Pistols on the album cover. Fucking hell. That is setting the bar for 50-year-olds.
Which one do you say? Sorry, I was just playing a tune.
Pistols on the album cover. Pistols on the album cover.
Oh, yeah.
Is fucking, he sounds regal on there, like a fucking royalty. But he always does sound quite regal, I suppose. But
it's kind of upbeat as well, and it's a cool tune in that it's got it's the tribute to and he brings that, and he has mentions in albums. He has tributes to rappers from the past as well, doesn't he?
No, he does. He has a tribute to Magic Johnson, I suppose, doesn't he? Irving Magic Johnson. That's another one that he has. He does drop these kind of things, probably for the youth, for the 1 million that are out there, the drip off from the 21 Savage track. Guess what? There was a guy called Magic Johnson around. But yeah, and do you know what though? One thing I heard someone talk to me about Magic 2, and I suppose we can bridge this into Magic 3. Someone was saying, and I didn't really get it, but it's interesting people are out there saying this. My mate said to me, yeah, but like Magic Johnson, that's quite generic by the number soul sampling. And I was like, yeah, well, yeah, I suppose it is, but it's good though. Like, is that a bad thing? Like, I don't know. Like, is that really bad though? Because it does feel a bit colour by numbers, almost like a first semester kind of soul sampling technique. But if it works, does it matter? And I just thought I'd open that to you because people have been saying about Magic 3 that the beats aren't as, as pertinent as some of are hitting them, grabbing them. So I was wondering what you thought to that.
Yeah, that Magic Johnson shoot, the Irving Magic Johnson, I'm not feeling that one as much. Like I say, on Magic 3, he's the Hit Boys production is more of a journey, track to track. It kind of it develops. It cuts out. It changes altogether. Mid track. Whereas I don't know, that one's just a 4-bar loop, isn't it? So
yes, I suppose I can see that. Yeah, fair enough. So Magic 3 then, mate. Magic 3. Going into Magic 3. What? Go on then. Bring me some of your most rewindables, or like just five.
I'm just going straight to it. Fucking hell! This is absolutely this. I don't know, something about this track. It's so I love this feeling. It's that
this is my song. This is my song.
There's that tune is just fucking incredible. So the intro, so it's without drums, and then it's not even an intro. It's just a good section of it is without drums, and then you're like, just when your heart sinks and you think, oh, he's gone that way, boom, Hit Boy hits you with the drums. That's the one I was saying about. And this tune, it's got the Ozark reference. It's that whole thing of like so. It's got, how Ozark had the episode where it was just all about Illmatic.
I had the Ozark written down here. Now, I've not watched Ozark, and the only reason I want to go in is because apparently there was an Illmatic episode, and I need to. So I haven't watched it. So please don't spoil it.
It doesn't make fucking sense because, like, Killer Mike's in the episode, and like, why is Killer Mike in the episode talking? And one of the main characters just goes out to say, "So, Illmatic is fucking wicked, isn't it? It's fucking wicked.
Don't tell me anymore. Don't tell me anymore.
That's not what happens.
Right.
But it basically is that. It's just a bit weird. And then they talk about how they thought, Nas was feeling. Anyway, so that's wicked that it then references, like, then Ozark's references album, then he's referencing Ozark. And now I need another Ozark, another series of Ozark where they reference him, because they have to. Yeah. They've talked about him. They've already talked about his album. Nas already exists in the Ozark universe. And now they have to then talk about him. It's weird, isn't it? That Nas just started mentioning about this show, Ozark. Because can they then recognize the fact that they're in a show called Ozark?
They can't, can they? They can't look through that window. I
don't know. There's just levels of meta. Anyway, never mind that. So the other thing, pop
culture's constantly eating itself, innit? Pop culture just eats itself. The highlight of
that tune is before the Ozark reference. This line. It's your monthly subscription to the Slums edition on the new. It's the new It Was Written. Get your hard copies of Blackology coming from the one who lived in a bowl for goldfish and never sold my soul. Just evolved shock rap that what you never been told shit. This the way he flows that I fucking butchered it, but it's one of those that was that. It's a fucking rewind moment. Yeah. It's a moment where I was on the train, I heard it, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, on the train, everyone's just sat in their own world looking at it, thinking, and I had this moment of like, oh
shit.
I want to stop. I want to pull it back. I want to react with all my mates going, oh shit.
Well, I was here. I was over here.
Fucking Westwood days when fucking he's playing tunes and everyone's reacting in the studio and it's like, fuck, stop it.
Yeah.
Fucking bomb drops, explosion. That was a fucking moment. That's the second verse in I Love This Feeling is perfectly named because I love that feeling.
That's it. Mate, you've literally stolen all the words out of my mouth. That is my most rewindable moment on the album. I feel a joy that it harkens back to me being young. And then it's weird about pop culture eating itself. I'm feeling this joy from the same bars you're talking about of this man spitting wisdom in his 50s who's been in the GOAT debate since the fucking 90s, who's also feeling joy about what he's doing. I love this feeling. It's like we all love this feeling. It's great. Yeah. And I think that is perfect old school sampling. Makes me think if Apollo Brown was given this assignment, he'd read this assignment perfectly. And I think it's a world away. Just remember Nas's journey, yeah? It's a world away from that Neptunes, Kanye, Stillmatic era. Like, I like Stillmatic, and we reviewed it for the Patreon, patreon.com/Creator8. Go check it out over there. And we have reviewed it, but I was like, this is a world, like, this is going back, but in such a good way. And to hear someone, it's kind of weird, because this is what I mean about his rhyming being looser. Yes, this song is about, I love this feeling. Yes, there are other songs on here, but he veers off into other weird territories. And there was one where he says, who's really missing with their dad man's girl? It says everything about that man's world, right? And it just kept sticking. It's like, who is he talking about? Like, what's that got to do with him loving this feeling? And then I did have a little search on people are saying he's talking about Faith Evans. And I think one of the hitmen are with Faith Evans. It's just hip hop gossip. It doesn't matter. But then I was like, why have you brought hip hop gossip into like this really amazing song? So this is what I mean about his writing being looser. I feel like he's sometimes just like, I'm going to go down this path because I've done 5 projects where I've been a bit more honed and I want to go out with being a bit more creative. But that's the only thing I had to just add to everything else I agree with what Ray said. Absolutely. Mate, Fever. Mate, do not tug at my heartstrings and play with me by putting a represent reference in there.
Yeah.
That does something to me, bro. Like, if I just hear that represent, I feel like I'm back on my own, yearning to be in a crew of people just shouting represent. And I just hear it again. It just put a big fat smile on my face. I was on my walk.
Yeah.
I heard that and I was like, yeah, I'm good, man. This is, I know people can like say, oh, how much replay value you got it. I don't care. Right now, I'm replaying that. Right now I am. And maybe that's what music is now. You replay it for a certain amount of time and then you don't really go back to it. But why should I deny myself the joy I feel at Fever, despite And just a little bugbear for anyone who wants to talk about Scorsese and Wolf of Wall Street with me, right? I love Wolf of Wall Street. It's a great film. My biggest bugbear about that film that I don't like is that improv bit with Matthew McConaughey going, it's shit. I don't get. It's not good. It's not funny. It doesn't. It just makes the whole film lag a bit. And fucking Nas starts doing it at the end of the song. I was like, I love this song. And then the outro is. I was like, oh no! Now you're reminding me of my worst bit in Scorsese cinema. Well, one of the. And I just that was my journey with that song, Fever. Just had to bring that out there. But yeah, anybody who loves that Matthew McConaughey bit, fair play to you. Just not me. So
Not a bit that particularly stuck with me, to be honest, but I'm going to have to...
It's because I've watched Wolf of Wall Street about 6-7 times now, and every time I forward that bit. I forward that bit now. Forward it, mate, every time. But yeah, Fever for me. Anything else? Hidden gems or... Well, they're not really hidden gems, but yeah, most rewindables.
Oh, geez. So, based on true events, part 2. That's another one. That's just ridiculous. So, the beat... So, I'm loving... It's got these little ad-libs, this female voice, chapter 1, chapter 2. Chapter 2 ends. Chapter 3, and then boom, that's when each verse kicks in. And it's Nas telling stories. It's that's what the people want. And like this, I don't know what this story, I don't know what the true events were. So the first verse, he's seeing a chick in Madrid. Then he's on a plane back. So he obviously links up with the Connect and picks up a bag of, let's say, drugs, shall we? And then it's just not specified. Maybe it's cash, maybe it's drugs, maybe it's both. And then he arrives back and he's like, oh, my mate's not picking up the phone. And then it turns out the dudes from Spain that he got whatever from set him up. So there's this whole journey. And there's just this bit in the second verse. It's like, it has this whole, just this particular, like, sometimes, because he's kind of a bit all over the place with his flow in a good way. I mean, like what he did in that previous verse that I already said about. And, with this one, it's this whole like so he was watching the game on the plane. Says when the game was over, he dozed off. When he landed, his man wouldn't answer his phone calls. It doesn't rhyme in my accent. It rhymes in his. Yeah. Did he take it or did he take it or is he locked behind a stone wall? Did the feds wait in undercover patrol cars trying to tell him? You know what? Me saying it in my accent doesn't rhyme, but the way that Nas rhymes it is just like trying to tell him not to panic, don't go far, but. What's the law of averages when you done broke laws? Is that has to do the math on this. He can't take no loss. And then it's just this whole, but the way that it flows correctly, is telling the story correctly. It's moving the story forward. It's talking about his emotions. It's talking about real things that's happening to him, how he's feeling about it. Then what's he going to do next? And then what's his considerations for the all of it is like, I don't know. There's a lot of Nas's rhymes sometimes feel kind of scattered, but this is like so specific to the story, and I don't know. And plus the beat is ridiculous as well. Like I don't know. When you consider like doing a podcast episode on yet another release from Nas, a little part of you is like, fucking hell, all right, what's he going to come out with now? And I'm loving the whole fucking album.
Yeah. So, he's more honed on that song, but I think with that song. I have a bone to pick with it purely because it's part 2 of based on true events, right? So I'm guessing these are based on true events, like you said. I think number 2, his technique is incredible. He can spin a fucking yarn, man. This guy can fucking rhyme, and it's amazing how he does it. But I was thinking about the actual story he was saying, and I was like, oh, but that didn't intrigue. It didn't get like the story didn't like it didn't do justice to his technique. Whereas based on true events, the first one gets that marriage perfect, I thought. Because at that point, plus this whole album's a bit of a journey where I was like, okay, when you first listen to it, I was like, right, what am I... And by the time I'd got to based on true events, I fully realised, okay, Magic 2 was Nas on contemporary beats. Hit Boy is taking a bit more of a different thing on there, different direction. This album is fully grounded in the 90s golden era. This point in the album, if you're listening to it from the front, right? And I love the horns based on true events. I love those horns. That is some fucking dope production on that as well. but there's some real fucking heart. Like, he's talking about this photo, and he's like, do you know that photo? Do you know who this guy is? Like, who is that guy? Do you know? Because he looks like the guy who used to be my best mate's man, who's called Half Mill, who died by suicide. I did not see that coming. And I was like, oh, what? I thought it was going to be like a girl, man, like triangle, beef, drama, you know, old school Nas. Nah, this is Nas who's world weary. And he's talking like this, where it lulled me into that. And then he starts talking about that. And then he starts talking about Havoc's brother, who I didn't know, who died fucking... That's a lot of stuff coming. I just didn't expect it. And I should have maybe expected it saying based on true events. But yeah, so I prefer number 1 to number 2. Number 2 is still great because of the technique, but number 1 just seemed to hit me harder. I have another one here for you here, kid. And how nice is it? You know, when we grew up and we were like, why has he done this? Why has he done that? We didn't have the info at our hands. We didn't have the internet to like really know what was going on. Hence our hip hop rumor roulette, you know, rumor roulette. They were unsubstantiated. How nice is it when you hear Never Die and he's letting us in on his career decisions? Like, this is what I did. And I'm even not hating on New York. I'm not hating on New York. I love this New York, and because I love the one where I'm from. And it's a really joyous cut on the album that even there's a little ad-lib in it. And it's how I felt when he knows he's feeling it so much. He just goes, ah! You know, when like someone's like, oh, I can't even believe how, you know, I love that energy. I love that energy that he brings. And then Lil Wayne, someone has said, Lil Wayne, do you know what? Give me that cough syrup for a second, yeah? Just chill, wake yourself up, have a coffee. And Lil Wayne has woken up, guys. Just tell everyone in the hip-hop community, Lil Wayne is now awake. So if you want a verse where he is like, holy fucking shit, like that feature was, yes, it's not like he's done better. Absolutely, he's done better. But the beat knocks, and when he comes in, I'm just like, yeah this is fucking, I don't know how many times I'll repeat this like with age, and I'm not sure how many times I'll go back to it. But this is just the best. And this is not a derogatory term, meat and potatoes fucking rap. I know what I'm getting. You're a lyricist. Yeah. You're bringing the lyrics.
Yeah, it's a sick track. And plus it's Wayne being, it's Lil Wayne being Wayne. It's peak Wayne. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like the rhymes, they're sick. This is what my experience of Lil Wayne is that, oh, that's sick. Oh, he's kind of veering off a little bit. Oh, that's sick again. You know, like he kind of, it's like he like starts heavy, gets distracted while he's writing. And then he's like,
comes back.
Then he comes back to it. Then he thinks of a really good one. And then he comes, you know, so it's kind of, yeah, that's, it's not really disciplined, killing it all the way through like your fucking Eminems and your big puns and your, well, Nas as well. But it's Lil Wayne, I find that he kind of, you know, it's like, there's the rhyme in here. He rhymes the word like too many times. Yeah, and maybe that's me being too pernickety. It's like you've used like too many times there, mate. But Come on, you're being lazy.
How he ends it because you can forgive him when he says, "Hey, mom." Like he just says, "Hello, mom."
Oh, yeah, hey, mom. Yeah.
What? Like, surely you're famous enough not to have to say hey mum, but it's funny to me and it's great. Absolutely. The last one before I go to the chat, then I had one more here, 2 more actually. Japanese Soul Bar. What a great fucking title for a song that is. What a great title. And it does to Japan as well. So
I mean, it does sound like, I mean, I can't completely vouch for this. Maybe I didn't go to Bethany's Soul Bars while I was there, but it sounds like I should have, because that's a fucking sick track. And it sounds like what you imagine a Japanese soul bar. So that's what that was the thing. Like Hit Boy made the beat. Nas heard it. Oh, it sounds like a Japanese soul bar. Boom, that's your name. Yeah. Next, quick, let's get this job done.
Like, no, maybe. But it's a beat switch, bro. And I think it's the big one in the whole album. And, you know, we love beat switches on this podcast. But it's an inventive one. It is inventive. I think there's sample loops and beat switches can be a bit more like generically done or like a big handbrake turn. But the way this goes in, I love it. And he's spilling his fucking heart out on that track again.
Yeah. And then for it to end with a sample of Young Nas, then telling a story.
His first fucking interview.
Perfect.
His first interview. Yeah, really good. Really loved that. But the other one I had was A Grower. This one's really grown on me. And it was the song on the album where I was like, here comes the trap. Here's the trap music. Sitting with my thoughts. Because it feels like the 80s Miami Vice flavor, right? It definitely has a Miami Vice flavor, and Nas is so measured and positive on it, but he's again insight into his growth. And he says some stuff where it really hit home for me, where he says, finally put myself first and put out steady work. Like he's put himself first. He's putting out steady work, yet he still makes sure everyone still eats. That must be a hard balance to strike, even at the age of 50. So big up Nas, and give me some insight into your life. We moan about rappers just rapping and not saying anything, or like rapping about the same old coke shit or whatever it is. Sitting with my thoughts, for all the shit you might say, oh yeah, it's not Nas's most disciplined rhyming or whatever, I kind of love it for what it is. It's that insight. I'm getting some insight, and I kind of know a bit more about you now. And after your 17th album, to say that, that's a thing, man. That's a thing. I don't know any other genre where you can really say that. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if you had any other bits, but I like Superhero Status, low-key love that beat. Yeah, what other one? Speechless 2. That's the one where he goes at artificial intelligence and he says AI is only here to replicate and control. And I was like, not only here to replicate and control, is it? It's going to hopefully solve a few problems as well. Hopefully, you know, diseases and that. Nas, you should know King's disease. Do you know what I mean? Boom. There you go.
Boom. He's got it.
There you go.
Yeah, Tusk. Are we calling it Tusk, or are we calling it TSK?
Tusk. I love that.
Yeah, it's got some amazing like musical build-ups and breakdowns and stuff. And that was that one line. If it quacks, it's a duck. Again, more wisdom. More wisdom.
Yeah, that flow is superb, bro, on that. Yeah, Tisk is a great song as well. Changes and morphs, that kind of track, and quite understated, actually, that song, I think. Do you know what I love? My line on there, I'm like, Furious taking his son to fish. Oh, and I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, when Furious took fucking his son to fish, and Boys in the Hood, fucking amazing. So his name was Furious. Still can't get over that. Great reference. But yeah, he's got good references. And yeah, the other one, I suppose the last outro, which is that kind of weird, this is the weird, actually I have got this down here, right? This is a really good idea he has, which is to place hip hop within a wider social context. So inviting a lot of comparisons to Malcolm X. What if Malcolm X was a rapper? What if this? Trying to put hip hop in that scope of look what has come before it and what may come after it. This is the space we occupy. This is a 1-800 Nas and hit. But it's all undone with his comparison of King's Disease and Magic to Star Wars. Absolutely there with you. And the fucking Fast and Furious franchise. Like, come on, Nas. Like, think about that line a little bit. Two things vastly different, and you're trying to say I delivered two things. Like Star Wars, yeah, you've got Godfather, you got, okay, maybe you can't do Terminator trilogy, you got Godfather though, that's one to go to, can't you? You've got a few trilogies you can go to, Lord of the Rings even, but no, he went to the Fast and Furious franchise.
To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that track. What is that? What he's?
Oh, it's a good track. It's a good track,
but he's comparing his catalogue to.
I think it might be one of his. It might be his opening bar, mate. Is he says that, and I'm like, that's not right. You can't put them two together, mate. Really can't. Especially if you're talking about franchises, like an actual franchise. Like, come on, mate, can't do that. But yeah, so there we go. There's Nas. We've talked a bit more about what we want next. I'm sure we'll get something from him soon. A concept album with a new producer would be my bag. Absolutely. Like, yeah, no, do listen. Like, I love his idea of nostalgia, but I don't think he lands on contemporary, like using words or whatever as well from like what the youngsters use and AI and stuff like that. But he's very good with memories and nostalgia. I'm kind of here for a period piece from Nas, like a conceptual period piece. I don't know how that would work. He's the artist, obviously, but that's something I'd be here for. With I can't even think of what producer it would be, but I don't think Hit Boy would deliver this, and he has. So there you go. Right, let's have a quick look in the chat. Ray, do you mind reading it out whilst I have a bit of water, and then I can look at the DJ Muggs notes coming up.
Just give everyone a break from Cam's fucking endless chat. Yo. So yo to Oz. What's happening? He's in the house now. So I feel like all of these 6 Hit Boy records could have been condensed into one great album. But you could say that about a lot of people's catalogs, couldn't you?
You could, I suppose. Yeah.
yeah, Motion is up there with the. I hate to be a miserable shitbag.
Cheers,
Well, I didn't really
Ninja.
like Magic 2 that much. The beats were pretty glitzy. I kind of agree with that. I kind of agree with Ninja's Rose there.
I've
Magic. I'm not going back to it. Like you said, there's kind of a couple of trap beats on there as well.
I thought Nas worked on them though. Personally, I thought Nas worked on them.
But I just don't consider it hip hop. Trap beats.
It's got drums though, right? Trap beats has got drums.
I don't give a fuck. It's just a pile of
Hit Boy's in the mud after being so highly regarded for bringing what he brought.
Yeah, but the latest release is
But you can see
musical boom bap beats.
If you're looking at a trilogy, it's quite a nice journey, right? Magic 1, back in the day, golden era. Magic 2, contemporary, and then Magic 3 straight back in. I like the contrast because it works for me. But if you just wanted nostalgia all the way, I suppose. What else we got here then? Let's have a look. Ninja's Rose. I was seriously worried about Magic 3 dropping so soon after. This is what I mean. I am a bit like, why didn't they just wait a bit? I don't know why they dropped it so soon.
No, I think it's because he turned 50 and he's like, I'm 50. Let's fucking get the 50-year-old references out.
And it's 50 years of hip hop. Yes, I suppose. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Then once I played it, I instantly replayed all the way through again. Only Maps and Criminal Discourse have made me do that this year. Wow. Okay, Ninja's Rose. Wow. Locked in Wayne has been moving in silence since Kevin Lasagna, says Oz. Fair play, Kevin Lasagna. Better Tisk, Nas, or Fleetwood Mac. Wow. Okay. I can't remember Fleetwood Mac's Tisk, but maybe that's just me not being very up to date on Fleetwood. There we go. So let's do this then. Let's buzz this one out. We don't want to do this one for too long, but we do need to get to DJ Muggs coming back on the scene with Soul Assassins 3 Death Valley. Now, I'm not sure where everyone else is with this. It is his fifth one of these, I think. I think it's 92, like may even be when they were founded. So it's been a long time that they've been bringing this shit, right? But to see Muggs come again, and it feels like a stuck record now. I've said this about Muggs on this show so many times, and Ray's pretty much been with me, so I'm afraid it might be the same kind of chat. But to then this time say, I've done everything I could possibly do in my career. I've done overground, I've done mainstream, I've sold millions, I've done underground, I've done remixes, I've done all this shit, right? Now I'm going to do what the Soul Assassins tapes do really well. I'm going to showcase other artists of the genre and produce them and be like, right, this is what works for you, this is what works for you, this is what works for you. And it's now you can recognize, if you didn't recognize before this, that this is what Muggs is doing. He's bridged generations ever since he came out. Ever since 90s, he's bridged these generations. But this just shows his just credits as a master producer and an underground hip-hop king. I don't think that's overstating it, because who hit the heights of the music business where you were like millions of people were listening to your beats? You could have gone down a whole other route. He could have, mate. He could have gone down a path of riches and mainstream success and possibly more money. But no, this guy is fucking hip hop. Like, to the bone marrow, this guy's hip hop. You may not agree with the artists he likes to feature and work with, but his love and passion and work ethic and kind of genius should be fucking held high and applauded by the masses, because there's a guy here who can just still be like, do you know what? I'm not going to fucking keep doing money shit. I love this shit. It's that Method Man with rhyming. He loves this shit.
It's like you're saying a backhanded way of saying loads of these are just experimental. He's a bit rubbish, aren't they? Oh, no, but he didn't have to do all that successful stuff. He did all this less successful stuff.
No, I don't think it is rubbish. I think he's always brought some. Oh shit! Our chat's gone down. Hold on. Is your chat still up?
Yeah.
It says chat disconnected. Unable to connect chat. Please try again later. Oh fuck. It is still running though. Yeah, the live stream.
Yeah, I mean, it still looks like it's up here for me.
Okay, sweet. Sorry, it must just be my YouTube's working. Sorry, guys, if you are out there, but I won't be monitoring the chat anymore. It seems like I'm disconnected. But Ray's here to do that.
It's now is our opportunity to just rip the shit out of Cam without him fucking knowing about it.
That's true. You can do that now, guys.
Oh, it's fucking hell. That's a bit harsh. Jesus.
Oh no, gutted.
Ninjas Rose. Oh,
He's coming in. He's going in.
No, I'm not gonna.
Fuck's sake. Well,
I'll let him know next time. Yeah. What you want? What is it?
Create 809. 809.
You want more of me, less of Cam. Fuck it.
I mean,
all right. Whoa, that's straight to the point, isn't it?
You have got your fans. You have got your fans on this podcast. I know this.
So yeah, I mean, in terms of bringing it full circle back to Muggs is that, and create 808, bringing a bit of everything to please everyone. Yeah, Muggs has as well. So on this, look, let's just fucking get straight to it. Metropolis. It's Method Man being fucking Method Man. Jesus Christ.
And Slick Rick,
and Slick Rick's on it as well. Yeah, but you forgot about Slick Rick by the time. You're rewinding it to Method Man.
They're both amazing. No. I love both of them. We talked about Metropolis.
They're not anywhere near in the same level. Method Man is head and shoulders above fucking everyone else on there, apart from maybe Sicilian Gold, where like Muggs, like you said, he's made a beat. He's made a beat for fucking Ghostface Killer on there. And I'm not really bothered about West Side Gun on it, to be honest. But that is a Ghostface Killer beat.
That's what I mean. This is what I mean.
It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, but then to be honest, there's a lot. How do you be more positive in your old age? A lot of these tunes aren't for me.
But this is what I mean. I suppose this is the artist he's featuring.
I'm not feeling a lot of it.
So Soul Assassins 1, Soul Assassins 2, those are our era, right? So you've got our MCs, our era MCs on Muggs at that time. This is Muggs now kind of bridging that gap where he's like, yes, I want Cube. Yes, I want Be Real. Yes, we're going to talk about fucking Scarface and CeeLo on this as well. But he goes to those people, but he then he's laced some of the brightest futures of rap in underground that we've seen. And he's worked with fucking everyone when I'm looking at it. MF Doom, Alchemist, Griselda, Billy Woods. Let us not forget fucking the Mayhem, Loren, Madlib, and DJ Muggs fucking project this year. What a ridiculous supergroup that is. Champagne Breakfast came out this year as well. So he's constantly on it. And I was looking at like how you could talk about his voice, I suppose, or like where he is now. And I was big up Pete Tossiello. He has contributed a few things to this podcast, our 3-album run series. And he wrote, and I thought it was brilliant, Doom's trademark is a deadened gloom, evoking the listlessness that ensues once the antipsychotics kick in. And I was like, oh, yeah, I can absolutely, when I hear these songs, yeah, that listlessness that he puts is so, there's a lot of sparsity to a lot of the beats on here. I think what he's done of using different sounds and techniques, the different techniques he uses, and showcasing it through decision making and not just his craft. Like what you said earlier, this track here is for you. This is a Cube and Be Real track. This is a CeeLo track. And I love that how he's gone about it. And you've got all these arrows to your bow. And I think especially if you're a youngster and you love TF or some of the younger people on this, even I suppose, like, who's the other guy that's on here? Rome Streets is huge. So like Rome Streets, if you like that person, you're not really sure on what Muggs has done. This album's brilliant for, kid, especially with Spotify being so adept at this thing. Oh, I like that song on this kind of compilation album. I wonder where Muggs has done more of that kind of thing. And now you can just go down that rabbit hole within 2-3 clicks and be like songs like this. Do you know what I mean? And what I love about Muggs, he fully explores each one of these rabbit holes in his career. If you want to go there, you can. But now he's bought this, which is like a highlight reel. And we talked about Metropolis last year, kid, and it was one of my songs of the year. He bought that a year ago. And when I hear that now, still I'm like, holy fucking shit, what a song. I love that song because you've got Meth, fucking gargantuan presence. And I love that Slick Rick after all this fucking time. Like, I'm here for a Slick Rick album. I said this a few years ago. I'm still here for it. It feels like he's making some right choices. Like, Yes, Muggs. Yes, fucking. Well, I think he's even done stuff with Griselda. So who knows what he'd do? Who knows what a new. Who from the 80s is doing this shit? Really? We've talked about 90s, but which rapper from the 80s? LL ain't doing this shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of other people. And just there aren't any. Like, Parrish ain't from EPMD ain't doing this shit. Do you know what I mean? So Cube, he's from the 80s, I suppose, but he's not doing this shit either. So yeah.
Well, he's on this album as well. Cube,
yeah.
isn't he?
I wonder how old this verse is, because I wonder if Cube would have any new music coming. I just feel like he's gone past music. He doesn't really need to bring it.
Yeah, like you say, this album it represents is like it's been tracks that have been released over a long period of time, but also like so that track with Cube on it, Dump on Him, it's I feel like it's got the same, if not the same bass line, the same bass instrument as I Ain't Going Out Like That. So it's interesting that he's got some references, some callbacks to instruments that he's used in his early work. And like if you listen to Dump on Him, you can
hear it.
You can almost hear it being ain't going out like that. Ain't going out like that. It's that kind of it's that bass line. And actually across the album there's a couple of times where he's used instruments or let's say samples from his earlier work as well. So yeah, so I like that. But and it's a compilation album. The point of it is to like you said, to bring in a bit of everyone. And
but it kind of adheres to like one idea. Like it does bring lots of different varied sounds, but it feels like still a Soul Assassins project. It does feel like that. It never veers off course. Like the part where it could have veered off course, I thought, but I fucking adore this song, is Joker's Wild with CeeLo Green, right? I think it might be one of my songs of the year now. He has reminded me, one thing he has done with this album, actually thinking about it, he has reminded me, if I was ever to forget, of the greatness of the rap that I grew up with that is not disappearing and it's not actually that diminished. More like, if you look at CeeLo on this, right? When CeeLo comes, I don't think about CeeLo nowadays. I'll be honest. I think he's not the artist he used to be with Goody Mob. And I don't know if he's really ever going to be that again. But this, where he's playing a cholo, he's playing a character, and the way his voice has changed and the way he's using the slang. And I dug into it and I was wondering, like, how did this song even come about? Like, did CeeLo present this? And there is a story to it.
Just interrupt one sec, because Ninja's Rose is about to leave and he agrees with you. So he's just saying he better say before he's shooting that CeeLo joint, Joker's Wild and Soul Assassins 3 was fucking hard. So
yes.
Yeah, he's on board.
Ninja's Rose,
and big up before you leave.
Big up, yeah. Thank you for joining in at 4 or 5 in the morning. Bless you, mate.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's got to get up at 4 in the morning.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah.
That's
but even then, it's still, bless you, man. Get some sleep. Think of CeeLo. But yeah. So on that, I found out that so CeeLo saw this beat or heard this beat, on Muggs's IG story. So Muggs must have dropped this beat on Instagram at some point. And CeeLo was like, bang, messaged him straight away saying, I need that beat. I need that fucking beat. I think it was on Soren Baker's show, actually. Muggs was on there. And he was like, I want to do it from the perspective of the cholo, and I want to come in that way. And I can just imagine that fucking idea sparking. And they're old artists, and they still have that vibrant juice to be like, I want to do this shit. But what's he say here? Was short, stocky, and cocky. My body was designed to brawl. Just thinking out loud, it's a threat without trying at all. That is some cold shit. Like, fair play to CeeLo. If we're going on from that, though, talking about greatness, right? I can't remember the last time I heard Scarface, like, on a new song. So, Street Made, featuring Scarface, right? Incredible. It's incredible. That song, right? How vast and huge and cavernous does Scarface sound, mate? I was like, has he put something on his voice? Like, his voice is booming through. Like, as soon as I heard it, it was like a drug. I was like, I now need an EP or 4 tracks, whatever, of Muggs and Scarface. That is a must. That's right near the top of my list, because it's too incredible.
And that's a beat as well.
And that beat is sick, bro. incredible rap words colliding, and this supernova cut comes through, right? It is a weird beat. It is layered. It's really layered if you listen to it over and over. It's atmosphere personified. And I was like, fuck me. Is this what happens? Is this the sound of like Muggs' thoughts? Because if it is, like, holy shit. Like, but it breaks. And he has this moment where it's really weird and like, oh my God. Like, I don't know if it's ominous, but it's just epic. But then it breaks. It's like the clouds kind of breaking and let the sun through. And it's a really ethereal quality. And then Gibbs comes in. It's just really well thought out. And I love Street Made. I absolutely love Street Made. And the other one I've got is We Ain't Playing. We Ain't Playing. It's like bubbles. It's like bubbly hip hop, right? But it's the same thing. Who needs to be on this song? Oh, Devin the Dude. Of course. And it works perfectly where you're like, yeah, of course Devin the Dude should be on this and do the hook. And it just works really nicely. So again, another one. You know me, kid, and you know I love Rock Marcy. So when I hear Rock Marcy on 67 keys with Mayhem Loren, one of my favourite MCs, and Rome Street, like that track listing, that can only let me down. But the keys, the fucking keys, where has he found this sample, man? That is just, does what it says on the tin. It is just coke brag rap. Like, you're not getting anything new. It's just like, it's like what Rock's been doing on Reloaded, but now. This song could have dropped back in 2012, but it still sounds heavy now. And this is the second scrotum reference of the episode. It's when Mayhem says, he's got his wicked rhyming, and he says something about something Rabai or whatever, and then he goes, and then I'm out and getting my scrotum licked in Dubai. And that's just too much information, isn't it? Like, it's just too much information there, bro. That you're getting your dick sucked, your scrotum licked in Dubai, which is a nice place to go as well. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's loads of prostitutes in Dubai. Did you know that?
I've never been. So it makes sense.
not like, in secret, they're just in bars, just walking around. You're like, oh wow, look, there's loads of girls. Oh, okay.
But there's lots of money there as well, so I suppose that's what would happen. I don't know. Is that me being reductive? I don't know.
Yeah, but there's money. There's loads of places where there's money. Oh, look, who knows? Who knows?
Well, there we know. So people go to Dubai. Mayhem Lorenz kind of informed you. You could be going to Dubai for that. Either way, we're going down some rabbit holes here, aren't we? Let's go back. Let's just.
He's not warned you. Ray warned you.
Ray warned you. Mayhem.
Credit where it's due.
Yeah, Jesus. No. Ray warned you. He did.
I mean, it's Dubai, so it's probably not. It's probably not cheap, is it?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Are they? Oh, look, they're women with agency.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, let's not. I thought you meant sex. Sex isn't cheap. I think that's what you meant. Sex is not going to be cheap.
No, yeah. I mean, it's
women.
Yeah, but who knows what is it something you can talk about value for money? I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because you're talking about Is it it's not a commodity? Is it? We're talking about people here.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. Feels like it's above my pay grade, this chat. It feels like.
How do you feel about prostitution in the modern world?
Is that what you're saying? Fair play to them. Get the bag. Do what you got to do. As long as it's not forced. I think we're all right.
Yeah, no, it's got to be.
An agency, as you said. Yeah.
Yeah, they got to have agents. It's got to be. You got to have free will to make the decision to do that. And it's about female empowerment, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, there should on this album. That's what sort of that perspective.
He always brings it back to the album.
No, that perspective would be nice. There isn't really any female voices, and I'm like, some of these could have had some really good like perspectives, and maybe that's the perspective. Maybe that's the perspective, like of someone who's doing it, saying, "I'm getting the back." Either way, I'm sure those tracks are out there. But what we do get, and we are talking about like prostitution and pimps. Segue. Check-In, the OG version. I don't even know where there's another version, but the song Check-In OG version, my good Lord, that is the most pimpalicious music I've heard in months. It's so pimped out, right? It's got this organ that hits really hard. Jay Worthy works on this beat so well, and it's got a real drop to this song, and I've just grown to really adore that beat. I didn't think I would before, but now I'm listening back to it. There's two actually, kid. There's two beats on this album that I've gone back to. Check-In is one, And you know the other one that might have gone top of my list now, especially after this last 48 hours? Burn the Playbook, kid. Burn the Playbook, right, with evidence. Evidence is evidence. Evidence is excellent. He comes out, he's excellent on this, right? And this is fast becoming one of my favourite beats. Well, songs. Because the beat, Jesus Christ, like, you are incredible, Muggs. What are you doing on this? Like, it's too reductive to call it hypnotic, because it's hypnotic but weird. And there's weird moments in this whole album. Like, I think it's even on Skeleton Bones and Shell Casings. I started to call them queasy beats. Like, they're beats that are, the wheels are just about to come off this music. Like, the beat could derail at any point. That Skeleton Bones, Shell Casings are both like that, and Rome Streets and TF on them. But Muggs is pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and just finding the craft and sampling right to go, no, but it sounds queasy. It sounds off, like, tone. It's like someone, it's like hearing your voice break when you're 14 in front of everyone in class. I don't know if that only happened to me, but that is a core memory for me, where I was like, oh shit, is that what's just come out of my mouth? And I had no control over it. And it was the weirdest moment. And it feels like this is what these beats remind me of, because they're so weirdly queasy and kind of just weird. So yeah, those beats are amazing. By the way, there's some bars. I've got to this is my last bit. The bars from TF on Shell Casings. Let's keep this shit like Siamese twins on both ours, dipped out with Chinese twins. He think he bulletproof. Try these then. Brrr, bleed out these boots. Tie-dye Tims. And I was like, he bled out his boots, tie-dye Tims. And it's the way he kind of just, it's so measured about the Siamese twins. And I've got Chinese twins. He thinks it's bulletproof. Try these then. And it's just, obviously he makes it rhyme, but fucking hell, I was like, yeah, that's the coldest fucking shit on this. And there's some cold shit on this album, but TF, fair play. And anyone check out his Kansas album that came out with Rock Marcy last year. It's fucking wicked. So yeah, no, that's my Muggs review, man. You said Ghost earlier, I forgot to mention, but I thought it was great. The L. Ron Hubbard of rap. So I don't know what you think of that, but never change, Ghost. The L. Ron Hubbard of rap.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
And we should just clear up before, because maybe it was wrong to assume that Mayhem Loren was paying for it. I don't. That's not. Yeah, I just want to say that maybe he wasn't. Maybe he probably gets.
He probably gets it when he wants.
I mean, who knows? He probably doesn't need to. So.
It's Mayhem.
No,
I doubt it. Yeah, he's out here lovely. He's got a swordfish in the back of the car. That bar he dropped on the last 2.0. I love Mayhem. I just love him. So people in the chat, I don't know what you're saying, but Ray, is there anything to wrap up with, or anyone? How are we looking?
We've established that we'll be sorting out Crate 809 and just not inviting you. Basically,
I look forward to those episodes.
Hang on a sec. So there's great tracks on the record, something about it. So Jack P thinking there's some great tracks on the record, but he can't put his finger on it. It's almost like it feels a bit lazy. But maybe that's kind of what you were trying to articulate with, the queasy beats. That it's kind of maybe that's trying to articulate it that way. Ninjas. Blah, 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 blah. Hang on, let me just
take your time.
Now. And just Rose, we already said that. Genuine question. Why is there no Matt Comey on the record? What do you reckon?
Do Mac and Muggs get down like that? I don't know. I can't imagine Mac's that easy to get hold of when he's not in album mode. So he hasn't dropped anything since he did with God Fahim. So, I mean, I'd have fucking adored that. You know where I'm at with that. But yeah, I don't know where their links are. I don't know. He would have been the one to get on though. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Good question.
Yeah,
good
and
question,
I was just pointing out that someone rhymes twins twice. And he is right. I don't like that.
Although twins twice, tweece, that's twins twice kind of works, right? Doesn't it? Because it's twins.
Oh,
there you go. Yeah,
is
but you're right.
Twice. Who are we talking about here?
I don't know.
Was there someone you were just talking about?
I don't remember anyone rhyming twins twice. But if Oz has spotted it, then yeah, fair enough. That's one of your bugbears, isn't it, Ray? Ray's just like,
Is Ito on the record?
Ito. Oh yeah. No, I don't think he is. That's a good shout. He seems like he should be. Yeah, no, I don't know where he is either. Yeah, I know we're all picking holes at it. I love it. I didn't really see any of this. Like, where's he? I loved it. But maybe I'm in the minority. But Muggs, big yourself up for bringing it again. Talking about big yourself up, I forgot to say, do this at the top. New patrons. Big up Adrian, big up Rhythmic Reason, and big up Sharif Ibrahim. Thank you for supporting the show. People out there, crate808.com not crate808.com, is it? Well, you can go to crate808.com if you want. It's patreon.com/crate808. We've just wrapped up our Raekwon series. That's like more than 8. That's probably about 15, 16, 17 hours worth of Raekwon chat, including his top 10 songs, which is a 3-hour chat on its own with the Wu Avengers. Just some amazing voices who know their Wu. People who like that. Ghostface. We're doing a Wu, obviously, series. We've done a Doom. We've now actually branched out. We're doing a Rock Marcy episodes. We're doing Alchemist episodes. We're doing Mac Homie episodes. We are branching out. Billy Woods, Car, all this shit. So yeah, please go help support the show. And if you know what, if you're broke and you can't do it, if we could be cheeky a little bit and say, you know what, do you mind giving us a 5-star rating and commenting on YouTube and just liking all this shit? Because it really does help us grow. Just every subscriber we get and all the likes and all the reviews really do help. So people out there, please do spread the word. Ray, last great thing you heard, my man. What is it? And yeah, drop it like it's hot.
Have you heard the Dust to Dust 2 by Mav and Katola? It's a new album out this year.
Dust to Dust 2.
To be honest, so the plays on Spotify I'm looking at now are in the thousands, not tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. They're only in thousands. Some of them don't have any register of how many. There's one track. The whole album is ridiculous. The beats are fucking incredible across the whole thing, and you know they kill it with the rhymes as well. I haven't heard of Mav or Katola before, so. Yeah, big up to both of them. But there's a track called "Change Your Life," and that is the most incredible beat I've heard this year. I think it's something you. I ain't done the research. Mav or Katola probably.
Oh right. Oh, so it's from them. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
So the album is called Dust to Dust 2. So maybe their first album was called Dust to Dust. Anyway, Dust to Dust 2. But it's Dust 2, number 2, Dust 2, number 2.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just, you got to listen to the track Change Your Life, because it probably will.
Wow.
It's,
okay.
It is. The beat is, from the moment it kicks off, you're like, oh shit, I ain't heard. You ain't, it's like, sorry, I'm listening to it now. You got Change Your Life by Mav and Katola, and just check out the rest of the album. It's fucking ridiculous. Okay,
wicked. My last great piece of music I heard last was Guapanese by Mick Jenkins, who's just dropped Patience, sorry. And it's what an album. I love that album. And Guapanese is just Mick doing Mick, and it just sounds alive, man. He sounds like he's on it. So yeah, big up yourselves. Thank you, everyone, for jumping on the live chat. Big yourselves up.
Oh, Jimmy, just finish up on the chat. Yeah. So, what I was just referring to was Siamese twins and Chinese twins. It's twins.
Oh, yes, sorry. Exactly. Okay, yes, yes.
Not acceptable. Not acceptable.
I enjoy that.
Veto.
But it's the way he delivers.
Done. Out. And then Jack P's just got a shout for the new Sankofa Black Ketchup Free.
Oh, yeah, new one's come out. Yeah, I've not heard it yet.
It is. Yeah, another one. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, anyway.
Big yourselves up.
That's it. Are we saying...
Bye.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, big yourselves up. Yeah,
big yourselves up, peace. Peace.